So hi, I'm back. Okay, so let's hope this goes a little bit better. Sorry guys, it's my first live stream. I don't really know how this works, to be honest with you. So I hope this goes a little bit better now. So as I was trying to say, I found this template and I got it from this. I'll add this to the description of the event once it's over. I will be posting this whole thing up live on my feed, so I'll put that in there so you guys can get to it if you want. Again, I'm not going to do the whole thing. It looked very bootstrappy to me. So I thought it would be a nice way to get started and just something to try and follow without actually having to build out a full design. Excuse me. Okay, so this is going to be a lot more raw than usual. It's going to be a bit more, oh, I'm not even showing you what I'm looking at. That should be better. I forgot there we go. Okay, so now you can actually see what I'm looking at. See, I'm not very good at this whole live streaming thing. So this is the design that I'm going to be doing. And I hope that again, it's a bootstrappy type of design. It should be a nice, good one, I think, to do. So if I go and look in here, I've already gone and got a bunch of the images from there, so I don't have to do that live. And I've just gone and downloaded Bootstrap, so let's just go and find that. Oops, that should be in my downloads. It should be all the way up there. So I'm just going to bring this whole Bootstrap file into my live event here. That will take a second to copy over. So yeah, the whole thing I want to do here is Bootstrap has really changed from what it used to be. I thought that it was a smoother transition than it was, but it looks like they've made a lot more changes than I had originally anticipated. Some of them are really awesome. I love what they've done with the new column system. The new column system is it's the same thing, but they've made it better. It's really, really cool. But the navigation too, they've fixed one of my biggest pet peeves with the navigation, so that's really nice. But they've also put in a whole bunch of other things in there that I'm not so used to. So I'm just going to set up my file a little bit more here. I need to have a CSS folder, and I'm going to do SCSS, my own SCSS instead of Sass like I usually do, just for, I guess, the fun of it, and it's Bootstrap's written with that. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use those. Now what I'm going to do, and maybe some of you have already done this from your Bootstrap days, but I'm going to grab the Bootstrap file. And in Bootstrap 3, there was the variables, if ever you use the Bootstrap CSS. But I'm going to go and grab, they have a custom folder now, or file. So I'm going to take both of those and actually copy those and bring them over to my own SCSS. Do new, call it vendor. And in there, I'm going to put those in there. So I have my custom and my Bootstrap, and I have Atom open right here. So we can go, actually let's rename this folder. Rename, I just want to get rid of all that just to make it easier for me. So I'm going to come in here in vendor, and I'm going to open up both of them just so we can see what they are. So basically the whole point of this is the variables are things that can be changed over time. And okay. And again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to use the chat. If the audio is not working, if the video doesn't look good, anything at all, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. I'm also not used to looking at the camera when I'm looking at the code. So what they've done is they're just importing everything here. And to overwrite their variables, we use the custom folder now, or this custom thing. It tells you what to do right here. They actually made a mistake with this version of the alpha. With the alpha 6, they tried something where they put the custom here. If you have used the other versions, you would have seen it, whoops, up top. Did I just delete it? Cut. You would have seen it here, and you need to put it back if you want this to work properly. I'm going to leave it here now just so we can see the mistake that this causes, but just so you know, if you are using the version 6 of the alpha and you're going to set this up like I do, you're going to want to move that custom up to the top over there. I also just realized I don't have pre-pros on, which I'm going to need. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, the whole reason that I'm coming in here is because I want to turn off a lot of these. One of the things with Bootstrap is we don't want to be using all of these. There's just way too many. You're probably not using all of this. It just makes your CSS file bigger than it needs to be for absolutely no reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off a lot. Now these I'm going to keep, normalize and print. I'm going to keep type, images, code I don't need. So starting here, tables I don't need. So I'm just control, and if you're on a Mac, I think it's command clicking to select multiple lines, except it's not working very well. Let's just, oh, that doesn't work. Okay, code. I'm having some trouble here. Buttons, I want to keep. Forms I don't want. Tables I don't want. Code I don't want. Transitions I'm going to keep. Drop down I don't think I need. Button groups I'm not going to need. Input group I'm not going to need. Don't need. Nav bar I do want. Cards I want. Cards have replaced wells and something else. Breadcrumbs, no. Paginate. And I can always come back and turn these on, because as you'll see, this is going to be really simple. Jumbotron, no. Alert, no. Progress, no. Media, no. Most of these I don't really need. And for most projects, you're probably not using a lot of these. So you might as well come in and turn them all off. And utilities I do want. So with all that, I'm just going to comment them all out. Bang. Now they're not going to actually get imported into my project. So this is super important to do because it makes your CSS file so much smaller. And it only brings in the CSS you actually need from Bootstrap. So this is a really good thing to do. And it's one of the reasons you should be using the SCSS from Bootstrap and not be using just regular CSS. It really condenses down on your projects there. Just going to add a project, desktop, live event, add project. And I'm just going to go in my settings and let's go and just make sure that it's going to do the right thing. So compiler settings, Sass, I want it to auto prefix on. I want to replace SCSS with CSS. So it just means that it's going to replace this with CSS. So it's just going to move it pretty much into there, which is exactly what I want to do. So what I actually do need to do is make a new file, and I'm going to save this right away. And I'm going to call this just main.css. Could be style. A lot of people call it app. So I'll call it main.scss. Hit save. And I'm going to do, let's just import Bootstrap. So that's just my, at import, and it's going to be Bootstrap, right? Yeah, vendor / bootstrap.scss. Save that. I can save this file now, and I just want to double check. I didn't compile. I just got an error, but I didn't see what my error was. What was my error? Oh, I just made a mistake here, guys. Whoops, I forgot. So now I have to go. I'm going to leave custom alone because custom is getting the right one. But for all these other ones, I do have to point them at the right place. I should have done this before. That was silly of me. These are the types of mistakes that I make regularly, but that you don't get to see when I'm not doing it live. So let's go and fix that. So let's just do, so I'm currently here, so I want to step into here. So it's back one step, which would put me there. So back another step, and then into Bootstrap. And then once I'm in the Bootstrap, I need to go into SCSS. Oh no, did I lose? I didn't. Anyway, okay. And then I think that's it, right? Yeah, that should be it. I would have to fix it for all of these, actually. Usually I would do it in one big shot, because I might be turning some of those back on, but that's okay. Trying to go too fast here so you guys don't have to watch all this boring stuff. And then from there, oops, I already did the Bootstrap / SCSS / save. Let's see that, there we go, success, good. So it's compiled. So now if I go and look at my main, oh, I don't want that to be in vendor, whoops. I don't even want that to be there. Why is that doing that? Delete. main. Let's try this one again. There we go. That worked properly this time. Whoops. Cancel. And there we go. We can see my CSS file did work properly. And everything, all the Bootstrap stuff is coming through. So I don't need this file open. I don't need my don't need that. Custom, I'm going to be using the custom a lot. I'll be using the main a lot. I will not be coming in here, I don't think, anymore. Okay, so let's make a new file and let's start actually doing some stuff here. I'm going to zoom out. And let's actually start doing the Bootstrap stuff now. So this is what you're probably here for. So the first thing, actually, what am I doing? The easiest thing, honestly, for me to do is using their website to go to getting started, quick start, starter template, and just grab that. Copy, paste that in there, save it. Index.html. And the only thing I want to change, because I don't want to link to different jQueries and even their JS and all that, I might as well just link to their original stuff. People might have it cached. It's going to go a little bit faster just because this is where things are going to be a bit different. So I can get rid of all that up to here. Delete. And just change this over to css/main.css. And that's the file I want to be linking to. Delete hello world, and let's get started. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And usually when I start, I have it like this. So let's just start quickly, and then we'll make sure that it's actually working. So I'm going to have a header. Again, let's jump right over. And I really like their new documentation. Their new documentation is much better organized, in my opinion, than the other one was. It's easier to find what you want. So I want components and navbar. Navbar. I think the nav used to be in layout, and then I don't remember exactly how it was, but I remember the nav and navbar were two different places, which was kind of confusing. Should I just grab this one? Let's grab this one. I don't have too much extra stuff in there. And paste that right in. Cool. So nav. I'm gonna have to change a few here. One thing I like, navbar toggleable. I'm gonna switch that over to small. So you can change what size it toggles at. Let's just save this and actually just check really fast what this is looking like. I always forget how to do the live preview now with the new preview. Cool, so it's working. Actually, let's just move this down. I'm just trying to do a navigation right now. I'm not going to style it yet. I'm going to put this like to here, get rid of pre-post for now. Let's just organize my window a little bit better. Oh, yeah, MTG, I will be uploading these streams. So once I'm done, I will be uploading this to my channel. It'll probably be up tomorrow. I think it takes a while to process the file. I'm probably not going to edit it because I think this is going to be a long one. So I won't have a chance to edit the whole thing, but I do plan on uploading them. So they might be a bit long though, just because they're unedited. And hi, Kroniz. Nice to see you guys here. I'm so happy people showed up. Honestly, I wasn't sure if anyone would be here, so it's exciting to me that there's actually people watching this. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It's really, really cool. Makes me super excited. So yeah, I'm just trying to use my windows a little bit better here. And again, sorry for those of you who were here early on. Sorry for the audio mistakes. I want to learn Java for college, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, this is a little bit easier than Java. I don't blame you at all. Don't procrastinate too much on that though. Okay, so there's my navbar. I'm just gonna try and set it up a little bit like theirs. Do they have a transparent navbar? I didn't even think of that. Call me Ray. Cool, Ray. Thanks. I will. I'm not familiar with the Leverall at all. Sorry. if I knew a little bit. I was actually talking to someone about it. I know someone who works at a big company, and he was talking to me a bit about it, but I don't have experience with it. I'd love to learn a bit more about it, though, especially after talking to him about it. But I don't have time. It's hard to find enough time just to make these than to get into that stuff. But maybe one day. I have 2 young kids. It's hard to find some time for this stuff sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if they make transparent nav bars. Probably not. We'll have to play with that a little bit. I want to add a container in here, right? So let's just do that. Nav, I guess right here would make the most sense. Dot container. Tab that over and close div. Did that work? Yeah, there we go. So that's in. I know they used to have a thing here to move it over to the right. I think it was like nav right or something like that, but I think they got rid of that. I remember looking for it yesterday, I think it was, when I first started playing around with here, and I was going crazy. And then whatever it was that it actually worked, I think I found it in the nav actually instead of the nav bar. If any of you know, waiting. At this moment, I'm in work, but I'll see the stream later. Yeah, cool, MTG. Yeah. So as I said, it will be uploaded whenever YouTube processes the whole thing. It will be up there. So yeah, have fun at work. Or it should be. I'm looking at the chat instead of looking up here. But have fun at work. I think horizontal alignment, is that what I want? Yeah. So you can actually center the nav now. That's right. That's exciting. I remember there was one thing that drove me nuts with Bootstrap is I couldn't ever center it. So we can center it. So just justify content center. I want it on the end. And it's a lot of the stuff you'll see is like this now because they're using Flexbox. So you'll see lots of justify center, but then justify end and not right necessarily. So I think I use it on... They're doing it on the UL class, so let's just throw it on there. Navbar nav, justify content end. That didn't work at all. Is it because I'm in my navbar nav? Because they're just doing that on nav. I did this. Did I misspell something? If any of you see what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. Okay, we'll get back to that after then, because I don't want to waste time on just this. As I said, this might be a painful process, guys. Oh, what's up, Ray? Lots of question marks. Let me know what that is. I'm just trying to fix my nav bar, but I'm going to skip. I'm going to keep going a little bit. I'm not going to get hung up on a nav and doing little details like that. So right here, I'm going to call this my header. No, let's just call this a section main. Or no, section hero, like I usually do. In here, I'm going to have an H1. That's going to be creative template. Close H1. Then we'll just do a paragraph. Paragraph, I think the class that I want on this is display1. I think that's what they're calling it now for the really big text. Welcome to Mongo. Close P. One mistake I always do, guys, when I'm doing Bootstrap stuff is I forget. So let's just do, actually, for my hero, I can probably get away with this and just do a text center. Let's save that. I should have, yeah. So display 1 makes your fonts really big now. They have display 1 down to display 6. Yeah, Ray, I'm not familiar with it at all. It's something I wish I was familiar with, but sadly I'm not. I know people who are, but I'm not at all. I wish I was. And then we can also do a button here. So let's just do a button. We'll call this one primary for now. And we'll restyle it. I'm going to use their mix-ins, I think, a little bit to try and get that to work, because I think that would be cool. And honestly, I'm not going to do this whole thing down here. I'm just trying to play with it a little bit. So let's get to this next section here. I want to get into the columns, get into a bit more of what we're actually... If you guys want me to get into these little details, let me know in the chat. I can try and maybe get into some of these finer details, but I'm just trying to play with more of the Bootstrap classes and stuff instead of really finicky CSS stuff. So let's call this about us. So section about, which will have what we do, story about us. Whenever I see this, I'm not sure about the best practice for headings and paragraphs, because usually you want the heading first and then I think you know what I mean. What we do, story about us. I'm just going to do an H2. And we're going to forget the story about us. Or maybe I'll do that as a span. I'm not sure. And after that, we will do plus, oh no. Let's do a container first. Dot container dot row. I'm not used to doing Bootstrap. Dot, actually there's all that text. Let's just do the images then. Those 3 images will be column. This is what's cool. I can just do column times 3. You don't have to do something like column small 3 or column medium, stuff like that. You can just plug in column. It knows there's 3 of them. It's Flexbox. It's smart. You could also do something like column 4. You don't have to say what screen size is. It's just going to be persistently 4. And you can just do a column medium. So to stay a column at break when you get smaller than medium and stuff. So even these, let's put these as column smalls. And we'll make sure it works in a second. Column small, column small, column small. And inside each one of these, I'm going to put an image. Oh, whoops. So for my image, it's going to be img slash, I forget what I called them. Let's get out of Bootstrap for a second. About us. I had good names. About us. Did I hyphenate the whole thing? I did. About us 01.jpg. And let's just save that and see if this is actually working. Oh, I didn't put anything in my button. Whoops. I can't see what that says. Learn more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up to here and then I'll go back into the CSS and start styling stuff just so we don't spend the whole time writing HTML because that would be kind of boring. Where'd my browser go? There we go. You can definitely have the PSD. I didn't make it, sadly. It's a nice design. I found it today while looking around. So when I'm done this, I'm going to put the whole thing on GitHub so you could find it on there. There'll be a link in the description once the whole thing is uploaded. But also, live event, where is it in here? Design files. I'll leave this up on the screen if you want for a second, but I don't think you want to write that whole thing down. But this is where I found it. There was no copyright or anything on it, so I really hope that the guy who made this doesn't mind. It's a really nice design. I should get your name. Let's go check that out, actually. I was downloading a few on here that had some copyright stuff, so I didn't want to infringe on anything. So then this one I found that didn't have anything. So Alexander Kasakov, thank you so much. Really nice design. I really like it. Really cool colors and stuff. Really nice and super good for practicing. Like, oh my goodness. One thing I always tell people, I've had lots of people ask me how to get better at this. And if you're not a great designer, you don't want to waste time designing, find free templates online and just go crazy trying to do them, because people make some crazy stuff sometimes, and it can be that's a really nice way to push yourself, because you're not coming up with the idea yourself. Someone else has come up with cool ideas, and then you have to just figure out how to actually do it. So that's where I got that from. So this seems to be working. It looks good. Let's get rid of that. And I'm just going to copy this. Paste, 0203, save. Oh no, it's not working. Oh no, what did I do wrong? Container, row, column, small. That should be working. Let's just get rid of the small for a second. But it should be working. I've been playing around with this a little bit earlier today. Oh, I should, on my images, add the class, right? Let's do it for all of these at the same time. Class is equal to... They changed the name of the responsive. It used to be image responsive. Now it's image fluid. That was my problem. Okay, cool. There we go. So I have my 3 columns. So you can see just by calling it a column, it actually does work, which is awesome. And it should, it's just going to stay 3 columns all the time, which I don't want. So I can just come in here and then add my column small. And now there'll be a column from the small screen size and up, but they should, there we go. They stacked on top of each other at that point. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try justify content center. I'm not sure if this is going to work. No. It's a problem with the image fluid. And I might not, I think they have something to center stuff. They have more utility classes and stuff that are more useful now. Hi, Kaswara. Sir Kaswara, it's not letting you use the skeleton. That's weird. I don't know. It's giving you an error with their CSS file, I guess. I'm not sure what the best way to fix that would be, to be honest with you. I haven't used skeleton in a while, but that really surprises me that it doesn't like their SCSS. Does it give you a specific error? If you're using prepros, let me just open it up here. It should tell you where the error is coming from. The new version, if you're on the newest version, it's so much better at being able to find the mistakes. It used to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Like here, it's highlighting where my error is. So, it's telling you what line and in what file and stuff. So just make sure it is the skeleton one that's causing it. And, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure what would do that. If you have a chance now, you can just try and do it again and see if an error does come up, and let me know what it is. Put it in the chat and I'll see if I can help you out. Yeah, we'll try and fix those because they're small images. Maybe I should have made my images bigger, but I just took them from the size that we see here. I don't want the font right now. Let's bring that text in here. Oh, I'm getting a selected font failed during last operation. I've never seen that before. It looks like it's lorem ipsum anyway. So let's just go grab some lorem ipsum. That looks like too much. Story. Okay, so let's put our text in. So we have about container. As I said, I'm going to just do an H1. We'll do an H1 and we'll do what we do. Close H1. And that's going to get a class on there, but I'm not sure what it will be yet. And then a paragraph of lorem ipsum. Close paragraph. Cool, and all of that should be centered. So text center should do the trick. I don't think that's changed. Awesome. Okay, let's actually styling this. Normally I'd go through my whole project and then come back through, but again, I think that'd be kind of boring. It just won't work in the browser. Is Prepros giving you an error though? You're saying it's refusing to use the CSS, the SCSS. So when you have your SCSS file, so if you're using Prepros, you've put in the project file that you want, do go to your settings and just check the, compiler settings. And just make sure that make sure it's auto compile is on. It is for me always by default, but just double check just to make sure it will be working. I also always have auto prefixer on. You don't need to though. And then I usually use replace segment. So I'm saying if it's in my SCSS file, it's going to go into my CSS file instead, but you could always just play around with that a little bit. And it should, when you save your SCSS file, just make sure once you open skeleton, save it, because even though the file is there, it might not do anything with the file until you save the file, and then it should export that into a CSS file. So maybe it's that. Try that out, because you need to make the save. Once it saves, it exports the CSS file, and then it's normal CSS, and the browser should be able to read it. Let me know if that fixes anything. Okay, so yeah, as I said, let's actually start doing this a little bit. So I think I do this a little differently than some people. Whoops, wrong thing. I'm going to go into here and vendor, and what some people do is they just start doing all their own stuff in the custom, or they start doing, I don't know what. So I'm actually going to do my layout folder, and I'm also going to have a components. I don't know if I'll need components. I'm not going to have variables. I'm going to put all my variables inside of their custom folder, because they already have a bajillion. Honestly, there's so many variables that they have created. I don't think I'll need my own. So I'm just going to be using their custom one for that. So let's jump up to here. And let's make a new file, save as, and we're going to save this one in layout, and I'm just going to do this one as hero.scss. Hi there, Red Uno. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. So what do I want to do? I want to go to my main.scss file and import that. So I'm going to do layout at import layout slash hero. It worked. Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to do my .hero. I don't think I'm going to do a lot. As I said, I'm skipping the navigation right now. I should show you guys the navigation actually, because the navigation classes, let's just go look really fast. You're here for Bootstrap 4. One thing that's really nice, I'm so happy with, all the links are actually a class now of navlink. So that's just incredible. That is so awesome, because it used to be that if you use Bootstrap 3, you'll remember you had to do it as like, I don't remember if it was, I guess it was navbar L, but then it was like when you're in your CSS, like you literally, when you're doing your nav stuff, it was like .navbar ul li a, and then you'd have that, and then you'd like, it was really annoying. So I'm so happy that they fixed that, and now they just have nav links. You need to restyle the links, you do nav link. You need to redo the nav item, you can do nav item, which is all the list items. You can even build the whole thing without a unordered list now. You can just do it just with links if you want to. It's a million times better. And it's more or less the same thing as it was before. They just added a whole bunch of classes in here. And for those of you who have joined us since the last time I said it, thank you so much for joining. As I mentioned before, I thought no one would be here. So this is awesome that you guys are actually here. So for my hero, what do I want? I want to do a background first. Background, image, URL. Now, I'm in my Sass file, but you have to remember this is going to export into my CSS file. So I just have to so I want to go back one step and then go into my images and then go to my herobg.jpg. Let's hope I stuck with what I always call this. It's rendered. Let's hope it actually looked good. It worked. Awesome. So again, I'm writing this as if I'm in this file. I'm not writing it as if I'm in here, because if you write it like back, and then into images, it's not going to work. So pretend you're in your main.css, even though you're not. Let's add a bunch of padding. Padding of what? 20 vertical height, viewport height. I always say vertical because it just seems to make sense. That's not terrible. I'm probably, okay. That's okay-ish. Is that okay-ish? It's okay-ish. Make it bigger, 30. Cool. So it's looking a bit better, and I think once I play with my fonts, it's going to be the right size. So this is where, coming into the custom file, and I'm going to do a split view here. Let's go into the Bootstrap's variables, SCSS, variables. And I'm going to split this down. Split down, close it here. So the whole idea is you go into their variables folder and then you copy stuff up into your folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my colors because the colors are right at the top. And I'm actually going to show you why I mentioned at the very, very, very beginning that there's a mistake in their Bootstrap file in this version of alpha that you'll have to fix. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So white's going to stay white. Let's just look at this really quick. Let's change a few of the colors just so we can match that. White's going to stay white, black can stay black. Red, should I change the red? They don't really use any red. Okay, let's just make red this color. Is that really? Okay. Copy. I'm going to change red to this. So what you want to do is you want to come up here. So I'm just going to make a comment for colors. Whoops. And all you need to do is take what they did, so red, you can even copy and paste it, and then I want to just paste in my new value. Now what's really important is you don't take the default. The default makes it so easier for you to overwrite. If you start taking this default, it screws it all up. So I'm just taking the color I want and red, and it's going to overwrite their variable of red. Orange, I guess they probably use orange in here somewhere, right? They They have a yellow? They do. They don't have a lot of colors in this, which is great. I'm going to, okay, we won't need that one. You can always come back. I want to grab the yellow here. Let's just zoom in. Cool. Copy that. So let's do yellow. Yellow. Paste that one in. Whoops. Actually, tab. No. Oh yeah, it actually works. Weird. Usually it lines up. Okay, that's fine. Orange, yellow I have. I'll leave it like that for now. I might want to come back in here after to take some more. Oh, let's get this color. That looks sort of like a teal, right? Teal. I don't know how long I'm going to go with this, guys. Just so you know, I will not be finishing this site. We'll see how far in I get. So just to show you, as I mentioned, I've been talking, I could come in and change a lot of these, but brand primary. So I've already used the brand primary color because my button is a button primary, right? So I'm going to come in and change the, let's just copy that, makes it easier. Whatever, I'm still in colors. So brand primary is defaulting to blue. I'm going to make this red just for now, just for fun, and take off default and get rid of all this spacing here. So I want to remake that this red color. I'm going to save. My CSS should compile properly, but my button didn't change. And just to show you that this, I think, is working, let's go to my display one, and I'm going to do text primary. And that should become the red color. Aha, see? So this actually became the red color, but it's not changing my button's background color, which is a problem. And you don't want to have to dive in deep and do a whole bunch of stuff, which I did. At first, I was like, this is driving me crazy. What's going on? You're going through like 3 layers of variables to find out that you did change the right variable. And this is the fun of doing things when they're still in beta, right? It's one of the reasons they haven't officially launched it. You're going to run into some problems if you do want to play with it. So all you need to do is take this, which is the order. It was variables, mixing, custom. And if you're using it, if you find this video in the future and you're using a newer version of the alpha, this custom will probably be up top here again. They moved it to try and fix some problems, and it fixed those, I guess, hopefully. But now when I save, it'll compile, and look at that, it changed. Magic. So just so you know, the custom really does need to be at the top here for everything to compile properly. So that's the one change other than commenting stuff out in here that I would do if I were you. Now I don't really want my button to look like that, right? And I don't think they have any, maybe they have a transparent button now. I haven't looked at their buttons too much. Oh, is that really their secondary button now? Huh. Cool. They sort of have what we want. Actually, one other thing I want to do, everything's square edges in this, and if I look here, it's round edges on my button. So I'm actually, whoops, I'm in the wrong file. In here, enable rounded, I will turn to false. So I'll copy that. You don't need to comment it like I am. I like having the comments so I can find what I want, and I'm just going to switch this over to false. So everything that has rounded corners, your cards, your buttons, a whole bunch of other stuff, if you just set that to enable rounded to false, and let's make this bigger, I'll zoom in. I'm going to save my file, and you'll see that those become hard edges. So that's going to take everything that had round corners and take it off, which is really nice to be able to do that in one step. So if you're used to overwriting it, whoops, all the time, yeah, that just makes your life easier. The secondary button actually looks a lot like what I want, but it would take some changes. And I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try and use their button mix-in. I've used it once before. I don't know if it's different from the old one. Where's their mix-ins? Box shadow transition. Oh, no, I won't be in here. Mix-ins. Buttons. So I should be able to make my own button here, which is cool, but I don't know if I don't want it to have a background color. But button variant, this is really cool that you can really easily include in to make your own buttons. Let's just try it out. So it's called button variant. So I need to give it a color, a background, and a border. Do I have to give it? Let's just try giving it a bore background transparent. I should just be able to write transparent. That should be fine. So let's find out. So I made a components. So we'll go to components. Component. Oh, I don't have anything new. Save. Components. I'll call this just buttons. CSS. So I'm going to do, I want to call this one like button ghost. It's a ghost button. I think that's what we call these things, right? When they look like that. So I'm going to do button ghost. And I'm going to use their mixin. So it was at include. What am I including again? Did I close it? Oh man, why did I close it? Button variant. I think button variant. And it was color, so it was going to be white. So I might as well use white, transparent, and the border. I do want to open this back up actually. Buttons. Can I border? Just for the border color, I'll put white, and we'll see what this looks like. White. Oh no, it didn't work. No button, no mixin name button variant. Why not? I brought in there. Did I misspell it? Copy. Paste. No. Oh no. Did I not bring it into... I'm sorry, guys. I brought in the mix-ins. Why is my thing not working then? Oh, I know why. Silly me. That was main. Whoops, wrong main. Close you. I didn't import it. Components. That was buttons, right? At import components / buttons. Was it button or buttons? I make mistakes like that all the time, so it was buttons. Okay. Save. That's good now, and now my button variant should work. Ah, success. It did work. Okay, good. So that did work now. I'm getting my success message, so let's make sure that actually worked. I want to go back over to my index. I'm a little disorganized with my files. Button ghost. Hey, there we go. It worked. Cool. I'd probably want to change the hover and stuff on there, but just to show you, I just wanted to go quickly to look at how their mix-in works a little bit there. This color also I want to change, obviously. So this would be text. Do they call it text white by any chance? They do. Cool. So this could be class is equal to text white as well. Whoops. Oh yeah, there we go. So I wouldn't say it's perfect when you look at the design. But it's, you know, they broke it on two. Maybe I should have put in container, row. Oh, actually, this would be good to show you something else you can do now, which is really cool. Column, I'll just do this as like a column 8. So one of the problems that we used to have, actually, I'll show you two things right now. And again, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, don't be shy. So one of the things you can do now, let's just save this and see what it's going to look like. So yeah, there's my column. It's in the column. That's working out well. What you used to be able to do, if you had a column 8, then you could come in here and it used to be a column offset, or was it column size and an offset? It's just offset now. So I could do an offset 2, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. So I could do that and then it will center. And then if you had something like a column 7, well, too bad you couldn't center a column 7. And again, if you missed anything earlier, you don't have to do an MD7. You can still use all the same naming one, but if you just do column 7, it's just always a column 7. So let's just say I wanted to use a column 7 and I wanted to center it. You can. I just forget how. It's on the row. Let's go find that. I know you can do it. I just completely forget what the class is. And this is where I said I will be diving a lot into their documentation for this to be able to do anything in here. It's probably under utilities, I'm guessing. Display, image replacement, helpers, spacing. No, that's for my margins and stuff. Maybe it's not under utilities? Layout. Grid. Let's see. Oh man, I can't believe I forget where I found this before. Offsetting columns. No, that's what we were just looking at before, right? Yeah, just to they've changed it for the offset now. Oh man, I'm annoyed. I don't want to get into their mix-ins for that. Would it be up higher? No gutters. No gutters is nice and easy to do. We'll look at that after. Oh, here we go. Justify content. Justify content center. So on the row, I just have to do a justify content center, just like we were looking at before. And that should center it. So you don't run into those problems that we used to have before where things would just be impossible to center if you didn't have the right column widths and stuff. So this is much nicer. Cool. So I'm going to leave that like that. I know it's not perfect to the design or anything, but I'm just trying to run more through Bootstrap than to be perfectly styling everything. So let's look at this next section because I don't think there's a whole lot to do here. And if you guys want to see me style stuff a little more, just let me know. I will style it a little bit more than what's currently going on. But for the moment, I just want to explore a lot of the newer bootstrappy stuff. So that's working out, actually. We'll make it, we can close my hero, we can close my buttons, we can close Bootstrap. Variables I'm going to keep because, just so you know, we can jump into here. When you're ready to do your fonts and everything, honestly, just set it all up, like colors, your body stuff. Like, let's just go look. And the easiest way to find something in here, you want your body, Command F to do your find and replace thing. Just find, and then it's the second one. Like, you have the first up there, and then this will get you where you want. Your body background color, if you need to change it, bang, it's right there. The default text color, bang, it's right there. So just nice and easy to change things really quickly. The link colors, everything you've ever wanted to change, just make sure you use this, and it makes it so fast to change stuff. Yeah, I reply to my messages. Message me if you just send me a message on YouTube, through YouTube, I get it, or whatever you want. I try to reply to as much as my stuff as possible. So if you need, send me a message about anything, right? And I'll be glad to help out. I try and reply as fast as I can too. So yeah, don't be shy. I try and help people as much as I can. It's what I enjoy doing. Okay. Okay. Should I space it out a little bit? Okay, let's just do this really fast. Let's space that out. New. Whoops, not a new Photoshop file. A new here. This will be my about us layout underscore about.scss. Don't forget what I did before where I forgot to import it. I constantly forget to import stuff about. It's sort of what I always forget to import stuff into my main. It's really annoying. So this was called about, or let's try about, try what I called it. Padding, 10 vertical height, 0, viewport height. That seemed to work. Perfecto. Cool. That looks good. And good. Okay, so I can go back into my index and, do I want to do all that? Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. And they have borders on them, so we could look at some of the border classes we can do and stuff too, which are cool. Section, class, stats. Let's try that. Whoops, what am I doing? We're not in CSS. Okay, so in here I will do a dot container with a row with, container, row, column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 12 divided by 5. 12 doesn't divide by 5. Let's just do column and let it do its magic, where it will just figure it out all by itself. Column times 5. Yes. So this stats actually can have a... I forget their background classes, guys. I haven't used Bootstrap in way too long because I don't think they've changed this from the old one. Utilities, I guess. Colors. Background color is just BG. Okay, it is. Except I don't know what. Let's just hope it's this one, which is success, I think. Let's try BG success. BG success and see what happens. Oh, I don't have any content. Let's just put... Oh, completely the wrong color. That's okay. We'll leave it like that for now. I know I have their color in there somewhere. So in here, in their columns, let's just put... How do they do this? So I'm just going to do a paragraph, and with the class is equal to display 1 again. Oh, this should be on its own line. There we go. And close paragraph. Let's just fix that. And let's just fix all of these at the same time. P class is equal to display 1. Close P. And now we'll come in and do the numbers. 42, 123, 15, 99, 24. So they should be nice and big. There we go. They should all be white. So I'm just going to say for this whole thing, text white. That should change all the text to white. Super. And then after that paragraph, we're going to need, whoops, we're going to need more paragraphs. And again, it's 5 columns, and I think, actually, I'll do this first though. But the 5 columns are, because I'm just using col, and I'm not saying how big the column should be, it's just magic, and it works, and it evenly spreads them out. So it's a nice thing that you used to not be able to do. Close paragraph, and let's just copy the text. That's fine. I don't care if the layout changes. Paste. I should maybe put these in small tags too. It's going to keep giving me errors here, isn't it? Copy. Okay, they're all getting the same here. I don't feel like getting that error over and over again for the font missing. Save. Let's just see if that looks okay. Actually, those font sizes look fine. Success is green. Primary is blue. What's the one that's the light blue, though? I thought success was like a pale blue, but I changed some of the colors. So primary is like the dark blue, success, warning. This one. 1, 2. Info. Ah, info is the one I was thinking of. BG info. Thanks for the help, though, Ray. Yeah, I got the color I was after. Cool. So what I'm going to do is text white and also text center. Am I doing that? Oh yeah, they're centered. Okay, so they should be evenly spaced. And now I can add borders to these, because if we zoom in a bit on this, we can see that there is a border on them. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to work perfectly or not. Yeah, that should be okay. Let's try. Let's see what happens. So on the column, let's just try, I forget what it is. I've done B0 to get rid of the borders, but I don't remember how to add the borders. Borders. I want just on, oh, can I not border right? I can only turn them off. I can't turn them on. Add classes to an element to remove borders or some, oh, I thought I could add borders. Use border utilities to quickly style the border and border radius. Can I add borders? I thought I could add. Oh, well, I can't add. We'd have to go do some custom CSS for that. So what we'll do for now is, and this is the cool thing, one nice thing with using Bootstrap is I haven't really done a lot of CSS yet, for this anyway. I haven't done a lot of CSS in general, but you know, if I look here, the only thing I need is my borders and more padding. I got the text color, I got the center text, I got the spacing, I've gotten everything I really need here with the background color, and I haven't written any CSS for it. I just need to add the spacing on there. So it really does help out for that type of stuff, so, which is really, really cool. So yeah, let's keep going. I don't know if I want to do some cards. Is there anything in here that looks like it could use cards? These could use cards, I guess. This could be cool too, because this one's a different height from the rest of them, which is something I definitely want to look at. I think I'm gonna do like another half hour, guys. And that might be it for me. I'm gonna do two things. Let's try and do some cards. It's not really the best use case for cards right here, but I can still do, it sort of goes. It's the text to go with an image. So I'm gonna skip a whole bunch of stuff and do that, and then yes, because I want to explore the cards, and then I'll see if I'll try and throw this together too, with the different height things here, because I know we can do something like that now. I don't know if it's going to work out perfectly, but I know they have something for supporting different heighted columns that might work out well for this. We'll try it out. I've never tried it, so we'll see how that works. So meet our team. Section, whoops, not dot. Section team. We need our container. We need our row. We need a column. Let's just do a small 4. Oops. Times 3. Just to show you can still do it the old-fashioned way. So that's good. This is just a hover state. I'm not going to bother with the hover state for now. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream, so I don't know how often I'm going to do one, to be honest. I do want to do it somewhat regularly, but I don't know. I'll see how the reception for this one is overall. And just in general, I do want to make it semi-regular in the very least. It really depends on my schedule and stuff too. I'm a teacher in real life, and right now I have a bit more relaxed schedule, but coming up soon I have another class that I'm teaching, so I guess that'd depend, plus there's family and everything. But yeah, I do want to make it regularly, but I can't promise every Thursday night. Maybe at one point it will become something I try and be more consistent with. This was really just an experiment to see how it would go and if anybody would show up. So just so you know. But yeah, if you do like it, please let me know, and I'll try and definitely do them more often. I need to know what to do for them though. I don't know what type of content, what stuff you guys want to cover. I've had lots of people asking me about Bootstrap, so I thought it'd be a fun one to do. But if there's anything specifically that you'd want to see me cover, we could always look at that. So in each one of these, I want to do a card. So I'm actually going to pull Bootstrap's documentation back up, because their cards, their classes on their cards, they're not that difficult, but they're not super duper easy yet. Components, card. So I just want something like that, right? Image on the top, and then their text. So you can see there's a whole bunch of different cards that you can do now. There's ones without the top, there's with the image, there's grouping, there's lots of cool stuff you can do with their cards. With the feet, something like that with that on the top. You can play around with it as much as you want, but I just want this nice simple one. It has image on the top with some text. So let's go and look at doing that. Carousels. Do you want me to do the Bootstrap carousel or to do a custom carousel, Gino? I could just add a random carousel into here for sure. Using Bootstrap, I wouldn't mind. I have a bunch of images and stuff, so I could definitely take a look at doing that. Just so you know, this is Bootstrap 4 that I'm using, in case you missed the beginning. So I haven't looked at the Bootstrap 4 carousels at all. Maybe they've changed them a little bit since 3. I haven't done much with 4 at all. This is so. Ooh, Angular. I'd love actually live stream. That would be fun. But sure, I'm happy you like it, right? And it looks like I haven't checked the stats at all, so I don't know how many people are coming in and out of here. But it looks like a few of you guys are watching, so that's cool. So yeah, I could try and definitely make this a little bit more regular. I'll talk to the wife and find a good time to do it. I sort of snuck this one in. Okay, so let's look at this card. I'm going to do a dot card. Inside my card, I have an image that has a class of card image top. And then that's going to have a sibling of a div called card block. And then inside my card block, I will have a card title. Oops, I will have a, let's do a paragraph that's a card title and see what that looks like. Because I think in the actual design, their names aren't that much bigger. Let's see how this looks. Card title plus a paragraph of card text. Boom. I hate how it only does one of those when I press tab. Cool. And for my images, I completely forgot what I named them. So let's go look. Team 123. That makes it easy. Oh, this shouldn't be a div class. This should be an image class, right? img. So the source on that one is img/team01.jpg. And let's just save that and see what happens. Oh, and it probably needs to be responsive because it looks squished. Image card top, image fluid. And again, it's image fluid now and not the old image responsive. Does that look better? Yeah, that looks better. Cool. So that looks like it's working. This looks a little busted though. But let's see what happened. Card. Oh, that's why, because this shouldn't be closing there. Save. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, cool. And let's just go through his name in. Matthew, 2 ATs, Matthew Dix. And this should say graphic design. Good, good, good. So I'm going to switch this over to like an H5 or something just to make it close H5. So my whole card should be a text center. And then this can also be a text capitalize. Nope. Text. Can I not spell capitalize? Did I not spell that right? I know you can do that. I'm 100% sure I can do that. Utilities. Utilities. It's not a typography. Transforms. See, did I misspell that? No, I spelled it right. Hey. Do you know, did you want me to do the carousel in this project? I just want to make sure. I was talking about other things I could do, so I wasn't sure if you were. Why is that not capitalizing? That's frustrating. Anyway, I'll finish this up and I'll throw a carousel in here randomly. Just in case that's what you're after. At least I know I did it right. Can this not go on there? Does it have to be on here or something? No, that's what I thought. It should be on the H5. That would make more sense. That's bizarre. Okay, sorry. I want to see why that's not capitalizing. Sorry, this is really big just because I usually zoom in to make my demos capitalize. Important. It's on there too. Oh, because I'm doing capitalize. I don't want capitals. Man. Uppercase. What am I doing? Guys. It's getting late here. I'm getting a little tired. Okay. So that is good. Let's just wrap these three guys up really fast. I'm actually going to copy and paste this whole thing in a second because you'll see there's a border on it. I don't want any borders because there's no borders going on over here. So on my card itself, the borders are all coming from the card. That much I know. So this is where that whole border thing I was talking about before. I knew you could turn them off. I think you could add borders too. You just need a nice little border 0 on there. Border 0. And there you go. They're gone. No more borders. So that's cool. And even, let's just, this should be text muted, I think. Yeah. Could have been more muted than that. That's not very muted. We'd have to play with our colors and stuff a little in there. Let's just grab this whole card. Copy. Wait, what's this? Oh, my column. That's okay. We can leave the column. Copy, paste, and paste. We'll just change the picture. I won't change all the text and all that. 3, 2, save. Magic. And let's just make sure this is sort of working. Oh no, wrong thing here. They should at one point snap. Hey, I got that to center. I don't even know what I did to center them. I must have added a text center. You'll see this is breaking because it was set to the column and not like anything specific. When it runs out of room, that looks kind of ugly actually. When it runs out of room, it will sort of snap around and just figure itself out because I just made them random columns. Oh, why are these images? Why is that stretching? That's nasty. That's weird. I'll have to check that out another time because that's weird that it's an image fluid. That's bizarre. I'm gonna have to investigate that another time. If it wasn't so late, I'd look at it now, but yeah, I have time. If I'll do that now, Gino. I'll check out that because, you know, I do want to look at this too. Okay, I'm gonna do carousels and then I'll jump into this because I think the carousel should be pretty simple. I hope. Let's go check it out. I don't know if they've changed it at all. Actually, if I'm doing the carousels, I will have to bring that back in because I think I might have turned off. I did turn it off. Copy. Let's bring that back in because I'm going to need their carousels now. And I can close that again. Is that going to be under components or is that... It used to be under JavaScript, right? See, this is so much nicer how they've organized this now with just components and they're all there instead of... Yeah, I love their documentation a lot more. Okay, let's find one that looks good. That's not a carousel, is it? There we go. That's with controls. Aha, that's what we want. What else do they have in here actually? Oh, they have the little lines. Oh, there's no dots. Oh, they put lines now instead of dots. Was it dots before? I seem to think it was dots before. And with captions, cool. And we can play with the options a little bit. Awesome. Okay, so let's start just by taking... That doesn't help me at all though. That's just showing me how I can do the caption. Here's the big one. See, of course okay, div ID carousel example. Okay, let's just write out a custom one here. Let's make our own. Let's do a section carousel. And let's check it out. Okay, so let's do a carousel here. And if anybody else wants to see me do something other than this thing, just let me know. I'm here for you guys. I'm just playing around here with Bootstrap a little bit. So, you know, if there's anything you want to see, I'm really here for you. So just let me know. So in here, we need a div with an ID. I don't do a lot of IDs. Carousel. I'm just going to call it carousel. And a class of carousel. And a class of slide. I just want to check this out really quickly. OL. So the OL here is going to be these things. Then why does this have a class of slide on it though? That's how they do it, I guess. Okay. And we're going to need that data thing too, because that's when you see this data ride thing and it's carousel 1 or just carousel. This is what's used for the JavaScript. The JavaScript's going to be the ID is what these are referencing. So this data target, these need to be the same as the ID there. So I'm not using carousel example indicators. I'm just, this is, interesting. Anyway, I'm just doing carousel. So these will target carousel. And this I'm pretty sure is just going to the JavaScript to make sure it works. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that. I just want that on one line. Cool. Okay, so that looks a bit better. So now I need an OL. So we'll do OL with a class of carousel indicators with, let's just do, what, 3 slides just like they did? We'll do 5 slides. Li times 5, except they need an ID on them. ID of, oh no, that's a data target. I'll have to add that after. Maybe you can do that, but I don't know how. So we'll just come in here and do a data target. And again, this is just going to my hash of carousel. There we go. And we need it to do a data slide 2 equals 0. I'll do 0 for the first one, and then just have to manually 1, 2, 3, 4. So anything, if you know any of the other programming languages outside of HTML and CSS, they always start counting at 0. So 0 is 1 in computer world. And one of these needs a class of active. Class equals active. Good. Let's just save that. I don't think we're going to see anything yet. It wouldn't make sense if we say anything. I don't have anything in here. What does dblock do? Display block. It's making sure my images are display block. Cool. Display block, image fluid. The image responsive used to automatically do that. That's interesting. Okay, so I think that's all I need for that. And then you always need the div carousel inner. So that's easy. This is the same as it used to be. So carousel inner. And then we just need our div. So I'm just going to do a div of carousel item times 5, because I was doing 5 of them. And inside of that, there will be an image with a class of dblock with a class of image fluid. And let's just tab that. My image source, I'm going to use the same image for all of them. If you don't know about it, is on splash it slash, I don't know, we'll do 1000 by 600. So it's just a placeholder images that look pretty. They'll all be the same image now though. I'm not finished yet, so hopefully that fixes itself in a second. Did I do something wrong? I thought I'd be seeing something at this point. That's just my controls, which I shouldn't technically need. I'm going to copy these because I don't want to write all that out. That's my controls there. But this just needs to be for carousel. ID carousel. And inspect, and let's see what I did wrong. 0 pixels tall. But why is it 0 pixels tall? Okay, let's just for fun. Section. Do I have to give a carousel a height? I don't remember having to give it a height. Slides only. Note the presence of the dblock and image fluid on the carousel images to prevent the default image alignment. Just to quickly make sure image, class, dblock, image fluid. I did that correctly. If anyone sees what I did wrong, please let me know. I hate making mistakes like this. Oh, wait. I don't have it. Maybe it's because I don't have one that's active. Carousel active. So there's none that are actually there. Ah, that was it. Okay. There we go. Make sure you have an active image. And look at that. It works. Cool. So again, here I'll just change, like this one can be 101, 102. This is changing the width, so it's the width and the height. So each one of these will be a little bit wider than the next, but it's just going to make it so each one is a different image. Here we go. So they're all different images now. So there you go. That's a really simple carousel. Is there anything else, Gino, that you'd want to see how to do with the carousel? It's really just make sure that You have the ID. The ID is the same as your data targets, which is super important. And then if you do have these little things down at the bottom too, they're also looking, they also have it, the href here needs to be the same href as your ID here. Really, really important that it's all set up and that you're just using all of the classes they tell you to use pretty much, because it's as soon as you don't, their classes are making this work and styling everything. You can overwrite their classes or change a little bit. Just curious what would happen if we took dblock off. Not sure why we need the display block. It says it's overwriting something from the default browser, so it probably stops things from happening by putting the dblock in there. But as anything, just read the navigation, the documentation, and that's what this video is all about. Note the presence of the dblock. Yeah, it just prevents default image alignment. So I guess it makes sure everything's aligned properly. Of course, you can come through here and play with the options and everything. Yeah, no problem, Gino. I'm happy that helped. I hope it helped. And again, if you need to get rid of something, it looks like it's easy enough to get rid of. Yeah, here we go. That's why it wasn't working. They put it in really big too to let me know that I really needed to have that. So you do need to have the active or it's just not going to work, because nothing's active and then it disappears. That makes a lot of sense. So if you do want to change something, we can also do that. Let's go and play with that a little bit actually, since we're here. So I'd put this, yeah, I'd go all the way to the bottom just to make sure you're after all of the other JavaScript stuff. And I'm going to do a script, close script. It doesn't have to be on this page. You can make a JavaScript file for this and link to it too, obviously. There might even be ways of doing it with within Bootstrap's stuff, but let's just see. Yeah, so we want to select, it's using jQuery. So we want to select our carousel. Carousel. That's easy enough. And I'm pretty sure. I just want to make sure. Okay, anyway, I'll do that and we'll see what happens. So you can change the delay between automatically, whether or not it should, by default, it's true. So just to show you, if I can use my keyboard to control that. So I could turn that off. What else can I do? Pause. It's set to hover. So if set to hover, pause cycling. Yeah, you can. So when you hover on top, it's going to pause it. And if you don't want it to do that, you can change it to null. Auto plays the carousel. Wrap, whether the carousel should cycle continuously or stop when it gets to the end. So I think it's automatically going to cycle. So just to look at the keyboard, since it's probably the easiest one to show you how it's working, I come in here and it even shows you a nice little example there. I'm just going to do that. Come in here and say keyboard, and I'm going to put it to false. I'm guessing that's what I need. Oh, I need that false. Let's just see if that worked. So now, yeah, now when I play with my keyboard, it no longer works. And let's do interval. I think I need, I'm put anyway. Interval, whoops, not what I want. Interval of like 100. It's gonna go really fast. If I did that properly. Do I not want those? Is it comma? There we go. It's going so fast, it's just like glitching out the whole system. Yeah, comma separated, not with the semicolon. So you can play with the settings a little bit if you want to. Did I just break this whole thing? Yeah, I really broke it. Don't do 100. Is that what happened? It really is, eh? Wow. Interesting. Okay, so that is that. And that last thing I wanted to look at, I'm going to tackle it. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try. Because I remember looking at it going, that's really cool that you can do that, and I want to try it out before I get out of here. And it's going to be the last thing I do. I think it's going to be in the grid. Oh no, it was in cards. Components. Oh, was it in cards? I don't remember. We're going to check. Might have been in the grid. But I think it was in the cards because I think it was really far down. There it is. This is sort of what I want to try. So I don't know if it's going to work because of the ordering of everything. But you can do that Pinterest style thing now with their cards. Heads up. Oh yeah, this is important. They're using the display. They're using columns. The column property. Column property is a really cool property if you don't know what it is, but its support isn't fantastic. And I keep looking here because I'm not used to looking at the webcam. Sorry, guys. The support for it isn't amazing. It might be a lot better now. I haven't played around with it for quite a while. I think Internet Explorer doesn't. It's the same with anything. I figure, you should double check depending on what you're doing, but it probably will work. So let's try this out. So I don't know if I have enough images to... Oh, I know I don't have enough images. I want to do these images right here. So let's see how they did it. I only need images though. That's okay. I think... Do they have any cards that are just pictures? That's just with text. There we go. That one is the third one. 1, 2... What's the P3 for? Padding. Card. Oh, is it doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It's probably doing it like that, eh? It's going up and down. Where's the one that's only an image? This one. Yeah, just throw an image in there. Card image. Cool. Okay, so we want to do, let's just call it, is it our work? Portfolio? Our work? I'll call it work. Section work with a dot container fluid, and I'm doing a container fluid because it's a full width with my row. Are they not doing this in I thought they were going to do it with columns. Okay, that's how they're doing it. Dot card columns. Cool. Is it just gonna... How does it know how tall to be? Like, when does it decide to wrap up? Do they do card? Is it the P... No, the P3 is giving pad. I thought P3 would be for padding. Card 1, card 2, P3. I just want to see. I saw the P3 on a few of them. No, okay. I'm just curious what's causing it to know when to go to the top. Card. Oh, image. No, that's image top. Let's see what happens. So I just want something like that. So inside of card columns, I have 7. So I'm going to do a card with an image called card image fluid. And let's... Oh, and I need 7 of those times 7. Good. Image, I think I just called them work. Yeah, work 1 through 7. So we can do all these at the same time. img/work01.jpg. Let's see what that gives us just to start with. That didn't work at all. What? I feel betrayed. I have a div class card inside of card columns. Plural, yes. Do I not need... Oh, maybe it's this that screwed everything up? I'm curious if I even need a row, because I'm not using... Do I even need a container? Like, I'm not using column, actual... So masonry, yes. Yes, cards are built with CSS. Okay, let's just do an inspect on here then. I feel like there's something missing. Card columns, card. So what's wrong with mine? Card, oh. Card times 7. I need 7 cards, not 7 images. And then I need this. cut, delete. Ah, man. See, it's getting late. Paste. And let's try this one more time, guys. So img/work01.jpg. Aha! It does work. I wonder if I can get rid of the gutters, though. Oh, I didn't think of that. That's annoying. Margin 0 maybe would work. M0? Is it not P0? No? Anyway, that's kind of cool that that's working. Let's just try putting these numbers to the numbers I had. 2, 3. The order, I think, is going to be off. 5, 6, 7. Because I think it's going up like this. It's just automatically, but yeah, the order is a little off. That's not terrible. It's kind of cool that we can at least get that we can get it looking good. That's not too bad, but it's not quite what I want. And because I put these in I have that weird row thing back there. That should, yeah, okay, that gets rid of my side scrolling. Do I even need the container? Okay, I'm wondering if I can get rid of that spacing now. Might not be as easy margin bottom as I want it to be, though, just because of the way the column system works. Oh, column gap. It's defaulting to 3 too, which is sort of, I wanted 4, 5. How many do I want? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I can change that. But I still, even if I turn this off, there must be a way to fix this. This is coming from just card columns. I wonder if I'd have to go into their, let's see if there's any other information on that. Card columns, breakpoints. Oh, I can change the column counts. Oh, you can do it for the breakpoints. That makes sense. Card columns. I wonder if that's in their variables here. Cards. Find. Here we go. Default spacer on the X and the Y. The border. Do I have borders on these? There is, but I can't really see it. So no, that's the spacer. I don't know if that spacer is what I'm after. This is what I want. Aha. Okay, let's just change this. I mean, using this would probably be better, but for now, just because I'm getting tired. Paste that in, take off the default. And, oh, it is column margin. I'm just going to put that 0. Columns, I want 4. And card column gap 0. Let's see what happens. Ah! Aha! Now we just have those ugly borders on there. And this, up. You go up. I'm missing a pixel. Okay. Is there an easy way to turn off? Yeah, there was a thing in here. Border width. I turned it off manually before on these ones using a class, but for a design like this, you just want all these set to 0, right? Because why would you, none of my cards would actually have a border. Oh my goodness, awesome, except that should go up. This is the fun of using, I remember seeing, even as I resize, you'd want to build some media queries into this and stuff too. Yeah, it's like flashing around. There's probably a way to play around with that a little more. I don't know. I don't remember how it calculates everything. But the columns thing I remember it being a little weird sometimes. But that's cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's giving me It's something I definitely want to explore a little more to try and make this work. Because if this image was here, and then everything would just be perfect. And let's just check the order. Yeah, the order is way off. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think, something like that. So it's really going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's doing it in columns, which makes sense. I just didn't realize that I'd be using the columns, so I went across instead. Anyway, it's almost been 2 hours now, not quite, an hour and a half. Sorry for the rough start for anyone who was there at the very beginning of it. I apologize. First time I'm doing this. Next time I promise will be better. I will try and do these a bit more regularly. I don't know how often yet, but I will be making an effort to do this at least every now and then, and maybe at one point actually lock down a schedule for them. So it will be uploaded. You might be watching this after the fact. If you do want me to actually have a schedule for all this, just let me know. Put a comment down below to let me know there should be, you'd like it if it was. I can't promise when it'd be. It'd be probably after 9 p.m. Eastern whenever I do it, because my kids need to be asleep. So just let me know, would a schedule be a good idea, and how often you'd like to see these types of things, and if these types of things interest you. It's not as refined as my other videos. I'm making mistakes, and it's going to happen. I edit out mistakes a lot of the time that I'm actually making, and I don't edit all of them out because I think it's important you sort of see the rawness a little bit. I like when you're watching a video, you're seeing mistakes, how the problem solving happens, but as you saw with this, there's lots of dead time and a bit more problems with that. So if you really didn't like it, let me know. It makes for long videos, but if you're willing to stick around, you want to see this type of thing, I will interact with you. If you manage to make it in, and you can leave comments, I'm gladly going to respond to you guys and try and do what you're asking me to do. If you want me to cover a certain topic on one of these live ones, let me know, and I'll look into that. I don't know if I'll get into the Angular stuff just yet. I'd want to do a little bit of looking into it a bit more before I start making live videos and embarrass myself, but it's definitely something that I could check out at one point. But again, maybe I'd just continue with this website for now, and actually make it, eventually get it looking really good is one idea, maybe. But if you have anything else you'd like me to do live, please let me know, and I'll gladly at least consider it. Have a great night, guys, or day, or whenever you are watching this, and until the next video, take it easy.